Good morning, everyone. Thanks for participating in this CASTAL webinar. CASTAL is a project aiming at developing a case studies atlas of local sustainability transition. I am Fabio Feudo from Knowledge and Innovation, the organization coordinating the project, and I will introduce and moderate the webinar, which is divided into three parts, four parts particularly. The first one is will be an overview of the project, which will be developed by me, and then we will have a presentation of the CASTAL Open Access Archive that will be done by Carlo Pisano and Domingo Scisci of the University of Milan Bicocca, which is the other organization participating in the project through DASSI, the Data Archive for Social Science in Italy. Then there will be a presentation of the call for secondary studies, which is the main topic of this webinar, and that will be done by Daniele Mezzana, my colleague at K&I. These are the three parts, and then there will be another part, the final part of the webinar, that will be devoted to the a very short question and answer session. I would like to remind you that throughout the webinar, you will have the opportunity to ask questions in the chat, and we will try to answer them in the final part. Finally, it is worth mentioning that the webinar will be recorded and published on the CASTAL website, and therefore the information shared today will be available to anyone who might be interested. This is my, I share my introduction here, and here you will find yes, this is the four parts in which is divided the webinar, and this is the web address in which you can find the documents that we will share today, included the recording of the meeting. CASTAL overview. CASTAL is funded by OSCAR's project, which is Open Science Clusters Action for Research and Society, in the framework of Horizon Europe program. This OSCAR is led by the French CNRS. The partners of CASTAL are Knowledge and Innovation, which is the coordinator, and the University of Milan Bicocca through DASSI, Data Archive of Science, Social Science in Italy. The context in which the project took shape can be explained as follows. Over the last 25 years, the European Union has been solidly committed to making its cities and local communities more sustainable. Indeed, the European communities, cities, and the regions have engaged in a local sustainability transition, making the European Union a real laboratory for sustainable solutions, including the socio-technical aspect of the transition. The CASTAL project focuses on case studies, which might be a core component of the knowledge production in SSH. However, there are difficulties in preserving and capitalizing on the knowledge produced in terms of fragmentation, lack of archives, lack of knowledge organization, and there is a risk of wasting knowledge. So the general objective of CASTAL is developing a case studies atlas of local sustainability transition, which is a new digital research object collecting case studies and making them fundable, accessible, interoperable, reusable, and enabling in this way future research and the exploitation of research results by research from SSH and also from other disciplines, but also from local authorities, business, and the citizens. The specific objectives of CASTAL project are identify more than 500 cases for the archives, develop and populate the CASTAL dataset, curate and distribute the data, disseminate and engage the relevant scientific community, develop a series of second-level studies, which is the core of our meeting of today, and develop tools and guidelines for sustainability. As for the output one, the Atlas, we have three main important elements. The CASTAL archive with more than 500 case studies, the CASTAL dataset with essential coordinates, case descriptors, study descriptors, document descriptors, summary, and the CASTAL web portal with its specific graphic identity, communication, advocacy on open science, webinars, guidelines and tools, and an interactive map. This will be the communication that will follow my introduction. And as for the output two, the second level or secondary studies, we can say that there are three main types of secondary studies: the scientific studies, the knowledge brokering studies, and the state-of-the-art studies. As for the impacts of the project, there are three main impacts: advancing open science in terms of fundable, achievable, interoperable, and reusable data, advancing the capacity to study local sustainable transition, and advancing knowledge on specific topics related to local sustainable transition. The project implies also the involvement of multiple communities, SSH researchers specialized in local sustainable transition first, but also local administrators and stakeholders and policymakers at the national and the European level. The project was supported by some organizations, 10 organizations in particular, including coordinators of Horizon 2020 and Horizon Europe project, and the network of university, green communities, women, and civil society organizations. My last slide is about the project phases and the steps of the project. There are three main phases that I will touch. The first one is the setup that went from October 24 to November 25. We had a short delay, as you can see, and this entails the collection of case studies, the metadata analysis and extraction, and data curation. The second phase is related to the dissemination that go from December 25 to June 26, and it concerned the first webinar, this one that we are carrying out now in this moment, and the second level studies. And the third project phase is the wrap-up, which will go from July 26 to September 26, which will include the Atlas full disclosure, because in this moment we will not disclose the entire Atlas, but only part of it, exactly for the research that will be selected for the secondary study, but not to the large public. In July, we will open the Atlas to everybody, and also imply the carrying out the other webinars and the final deliverables. So this is my introduction. I close my sharing. I stop the sharing of the video, and so I think that we can go ahead, and I am very happy to hand over to Domingo Scisci for the and also later to Carlo Pisano, but now to Domingo Scisci for the second presentation. So please, Domingo, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Hi, everybody. I will share my presentation. Just give me a minute. Okay. 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 Hi, everybody. My name is Domingo Scisci, and together with my colleague Carlo Pisano, we'll show you the content and the structure and the contents of the CASTAL dataset. And I will give you some insights about the data that the research group collected during the first phase. How the data is being collected, there are 4 phases. The first one is about document selection, because of course we need to select the documents where the data are in. And I will show you the criteria that we're using to select such documents. After that, we create a grid for a content analysis to extract information from the documents. And there is a third phase about the data validation, because of course we need to move again on the same report on the same document to find and validate the information that was extracted. And the last one was about data enrichment. So I mean the idea to improve the data set with other data, maybe from other sources. As I said, here we can find a set of criteria that was defined to select the documents. We decided to select study published from 2010 onwards, conducted in Europe, including non-EUI countries, for instance, UK. And case studies must be based on empirical research. And of course, we need observation evidence-based analysis that is strongly centered on social science and humanities. That is our domain, available in English, publicly accessible, and documents must be released under a license compatible with project use, because as Fabio said, the idea is to publish and to publish the atlas, so the data set with the documents to the large public. So of course we need the license to do that. Methodology, as I said before, we use a content analysis. So we define a grid to analyze the content of the documents. And the idea was, of course, to create some closed variables and maybe other open variables. But the idea was, of course, to create a data set that can be analyzed with maybe statisticals and any other softwares. There is a phase of review and validation, as I said before, and data enrichment. Now, it's again a work in progress, but now we have at least 400 and more documents selected with, as I said, Fabio said, 500 and more case study collected and 60 variables in the dataset. The dataset is divided in 3 sections. The first one is about the study, and here we have several variables about core metadata for each case study, like identification details, years, coverage, etc., etc. And some information about methodological and contextual information. And the second one is about case selection. It described the territorial and thematic profile for each case, including location, of course, time frame, status, key actors, main issues, and transition domains. The third section is about the document where the information comes from, and contains core metadata for documents linked for each case study, like type, publication year, URL, etc., and access condition, of course. As I said, the four phases was about dataset enrichment. The idea was to improve the quality of the dataset using external sources, or at least external information. In that case, we have the idea to find a way to summarize the very deep information that we have inside such documents. So we decided to use an LLM, and we use an LLM to extract the information from the documentation. It was a very interesting work because, documents are very, very rich, with a very complex structure. And so we needed to extract only the relevant information and get such data to an LLM in order to extract the information we want. So we divided the work in four phases. The first one was about document parsing and data cleaning. The idea was to extract just the relevant information, creating a database with all information were stored. And the last one was to create an agent using an LLM to extract information we needed. Information extracted are indicated at the end of the slide. We have two big teams. There are summary and methodology. In summary, we extract context, activity, and key insights. And methodology, we extracted methods, analysis, and data source. It's important to highlight that in some documents, we have several case studies. So we needed to inform the LLM to extract the specific information about the specific case study. On the right, you can find two examples about information extraction, title and summary context about two case studies. Another type of dataset enrichment was to link the information we have with information available in Cordis website. Several case studies that we have in our dataset came from European project. So we decided to link such case studies to information about a European project that are available in Cordis. So we linked the ID project, and we are able to extract such some information, such as project name, field of science, start and end date of the project, funding product, call, etc., etc. So the idea in that case is to improve the information that we have about the case study with the context about the project that founded the case study itself. Okay, so now I can give the floor to my colleague Carlo for the next section. Thank you.
Thank you, Domingo. As already said, the CASTAL dataset is organized into three main sections: studies, case, and documents, which represent the original source of information. So in this presentation, I will briefly illustrate what kind of information is included in each section and provide a few examples of dataset content. Starting with the studies, the dataset includes basic identification information, such as the reference number, title, and the year of the study. It also provides methodological details, including analytical approach, data sources, and collection methods, and the data analysis model. And in addition, some short summary describe the context, the activities carried out, and the main result. As already Domingo said, most of the variables in this section were generated using the large language models. So this is a brief description of this section. For the cases, the dataset includes detailed information on location, covering not only the country and place name, but also the geographical level of intervention. And in this case, for example, we have created a classification ranging from regional to sub-municipal level. There are also some temporal information, such as the start and end dates of each cases and its status during the studies, such as ongoing, completed, and so on. And we further classify cases by the type of promoting actor, creating a classification that includes public, private, no-profit, research organization, but also partnership, such as public-private partnership, private no-profit partnership, and so on. And moreover, each case is classified across 16 transition domain variables, where each one indicates whether the specific scope is present or absent. And finally, we have the key issue and maximum 5 keywords to describe each case. Next, please. Okay, thank you. Concerning the documents, each case studies is based on at least one document retrieved online. And for each document, the dataset records the title, the document type, such as deliverable, report, summaries, presentation, and so on, and the year of publication, the source, and the usage license. All documents are assigned a unique identifier, allowing users to easily identify and access the original sources. So in this section, you can have the all available information about the document. This is the main source of the information. And looking at some example, next. Looking some example from the validated sample, currently around 200 case studies. The dataset show a strong concentration in recent years, with most studies conducted from 2019 onwards, and the 2022 being the most represented year. Geographically, the UK, Germany, Spain, and Italy are currently the most represented countries, although coverage across Europe is relatively balanced. Most cases focus on urban or regional context, accounting from about 3/4 of the dataset, but it's also possible to access several sub-municipal studies, for example. Next. In terms of content, the energy transition emerged as the most prominent domain, appearing in almost all cases, alongside climate, biodiversity, mobility, and others. And the type of document are also highly diverse, with project deliverable representing more than half of the total. But also other type of document are available, such as summary, report, or presentation. And to conclude, next. At the end of the project, the CASTAL dataset will be archived and made available through DASSI catalog. That is the Italian Social Science Data Archive, ensuring compliance with the FAIR principle through quality control and validation of the data, the creation of a metadata system based on the international DDI standard, that is the most used in the social science and humanities domain. The data interoperability enabled by control vocabularies and thesauri. The long-term preservation that is based on procedure compliant with the open access information systems model. a DOI assignment to support data discovery and citation, and the Atlas dataset will be released in open access with a Creative Commons license. DASSI is also the Italian service provider for the CESDA infrastructure, that is the European Consortium of Social Science Data Archives. Therefore, data produced by the CASTAL project will be included directly in the European CESDA catalog, thereby increasing its international visibility and usability. So, I have finished, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Carlo and Domingo, for your explanation of the, let's say, of the important deliverable of the project CASTAL, which is exactly the Atlas with its data set. And whatever is also important, the contribution of DASSI in terms of, let's say, connection with the big world and community of the Open Science Cloud, through the DASSI and also the participation of DASSI in CESDA, and that was an important requisite to participate, and also to the cascading fund that was launched by Oscars, as I said, and so it was an important element for our participation. So thank you very much. Okay, so this was the Atlas, the explanation of the Atlas. And now I give the floor to the next one, Daniele, for the explanation, of the call for secondary studies, which should address the research that will test the functioning of this Atlas, and also could give an important elements also to contribute to change, to update to this Atlas during the next months. So give the floor to Daniele for the explanation of the call. Please,
Thank
Daniele.
you very much, Fabio. Good morning, everyone. So, the CASTAL project is launching a call for secondary studies, primarily to test and promote the use of the Atlas by engaging different communities. The purpose of this call, two objectives. First, validate the tool. So the studies between February and June 26 will contribute to validating the Atlas as a useful research resource. For this reason, as already said, only the 10 people selected will be allowed to enter the Atlas. The Atlas will be accessible to the public after the studies are completed, starting in July 26. The second objective is expand the knowledge. The research will generate new insights on local sustainability transition across domains like energy, mobility, and climate. Some example of available document, no? It's gray literature. It is to be stressed. It's just gray literature to be saved by our Atlas, in a way. For instance, green growth in Brandenburg, analysis of the regional growth core, drivers and barriers of the low carbon transition in some coal mining regions, psychosocial patterns and lock-in mechanism in Sulcis coal and carbon intensive region, local community participation in the transformation action plan in a given territory, drivers and obstacle to implementing co-creation in sustainable heating. An example from Valencia, creating a more democratic and sustainable energy system. Potential analysis of renewable energy for targeted policy intervention, energy communities in apartment buildings, local community participation in some territory, cross-case study, the example of a super block concept for access restriction. Just some example the kind of document you can find in the atlas. The nature of the secondary studies. This call invites proposal for short, focused studies that must make primary use of the CASTAL Atlas and its case study dataset. The core requirement, the proposal must demonstrate a relevant use of the CASTAL Atlas data. The goal is to stimulate innovative uses of the Atlas and generate new insights on local sustainability transition. Who should apply? The call is primarily addressed to young researchers working on social science and humanities approach to local sustainability transition in Europe. The target is PhD students and early to mid-career researchers, and the geographical scope is that applicants must be working within the European Union or Horizon associated countries. Social science and humanities include many disciplines. This list is not limited to, but you can have an idea of the discipline involved in social science and humanities. We are funding 3 distinct types of studies, each with a specific aim and target audience. First, as already Fabio said, scientific studies. They are aimed at advancing academic knowledge on local sustainability transition, so producing new knowledge. The second kind is knowledge brokering studies aimed at producing actionable recommendations for local authorities. The third kind is state-of-the-art studies aimed at informing European Union level policies and stakeholders. Candidates will propose the topics of their respective works. For example, you can propose studies about drivers and barriers of energy transition, governance of local energy transition, citizen engagement in energy transition, social acceptance of energy technologies, psychosocial aspect in hindering or facilitating the energy transition, economic aspect, and so on and so on. We will fund a total of 10 secondary studies through this call. Each selected study will receive a fixed contribution of 1,000 euros. And the workload is expected to be compatible with other professional commitments due to the limited number of working days required, all in all. The fixed contribution of 1,000 will be paid in 2 installments tied to the key administrative milestones, an initial advance of 40% paid after the signing of the letter of commitment, which must be completed by February 13, and a final payment, 60%, paid upon submission and approval by the CASTAL project management of the final studies. The selected researchers will commit to specific deliverable and mandatory engagement activities with the CASTAL team. The key commitments are: conduct a focused, it's obvious, conduct a focused study using the CASTAL Atlas data, produce a full paper, a final report up to 80,000 words in English, including notes and bibliography, and authorize the publication of the final study on the CASTAL web portal and Zenodo. The implementation process includes mandatory interaction designed to maximize the usefulness of the Atlas and support researchers. The required engagement are: 1 training session organized within the first 15 days to familiarize candidate with the platform, 15 days after the selection, and 2 online feedback meetings held during the 5-month implementation period to verify the Atlas functioning and exchange feedback. Please note the critical dates for the submission and selection phases. All deadlines are strict. The deadline for abstract submission is January 16, 26. The selection will be completed by January 31. Result publication on the CASTAL website by February 2. Once selected, the following dates define the 5 months implementation period. Agreement formalization that must be completed by February 13. Study start date expected to be February 15. And the final report submission deadline in June 30. To apply, candidates must complete the application form available on the CASTAL website, and we provide the link at the end, in all its sections. The application must include a curriculum vitae in European Union format, an abstract of the study proposal, minimum 300 words in English. The abstract content must include, of course, the title, some keywords, objectives, methodology, and main arguments of the work, plus a brief biographical note. The eligibility criteria: present or past affiliation to or collaboration with a research institution, policy body, a small middle enterprise, NGO, or relevant stakeholders organization active in the field of sustainability transition. Proven interest or experience in local sustainability transition related topics or domains, energy, mobility, climate, either as part of ongoing work or as a newly developed research focus. Good knowledge of the English language, and there are no age limits apart from being over 18. However, a preference will be given to individuals under the age of 35. Exclusion criteria. The proposal will be excluded if they do not make use of the CASTAL Atlas dataset or do not show to make use of the CASTAL Atlas dataset. They are submitted by proponents affiliated with institutions not based in Europe. They are submitted by proponents affiliated with CASTAL partner, I mean the consortium, K&I and DASSI. They lack relevance to the CASTAL project objective. The evaluation criteria. If the eligibility criteria are met, proposal will be evaluated by an expert committee based on the following key areas: relevance to the objective of the CASTAL project, relevant use of social science and humanities, quality of the proposal with respect to the proposed study type, scientific, knowledge brokering, or state-of-the-art study, previous experience in conducting secondary studies. So it's all. Thank you for considering this opportunity to contribute to the advancement of the local sustainability transition knowledge using and testing the CASTAL Atlas. This is the application link where you can find the application form in the CASTAL website. And for any question and clarification in the next days and weeks, you can send a mail to me. This is the mail. Okay. Thank you very much. And
thank you. Thank you, Daniele. Thank you very much. Leave the slide open.
Sorry.
Oh, no, no, yeah, no, it's because no, it's important to take into to remind this website address, because this is where we will publish all the information related to the goal, or the information related to the projects, including also the recording of this webinar. And remember this. So we have time for, thank you, Daniele Mezzana from Knowledge, a colleague of mine in Knowledge and Innovation, while Carlo Pisano and Domingo Scisci are from University of Milan Bicocca, DASSI. Thank you very much for your the details that you have delivered, that you have provided with to our colleagues that are participating in this webinar. Now, okay, you can take over the slide, Daniele. Thank you. Now we have time for some. I don't see a question in the chat, but if you want, you can intervene on the in person on the with the microphone. So I see Christian Klockner raise the hand, and I give him the floor. Thank you, Christian, please.
Yes, I have two questions. One is regarding the 1,000 euros. Is there any regulation expectation what they are being used for? And the second question is when someone submits a paper then to you, is it allowed to use the paper or to submit the paper also to a journal?
About I can say something about the 1,000 euros. What do you mean with the regulation? They are gross. They are gross, not net. So you receive it, and you have to follow all the indication according to your the legislation of the person that will be selected. So it's
do they go to institutions or to the
no they go to the sorry that was the they go to the person that that is selected. Now this was the question, Christian.
Yes.
No to the person that is the selected, not to the institution. Yeah. And the second one about the publication of the work, I think Daniele said that it will be published on Zenodo
and on the CASTAL web.
On the CASTAL web.
Yes.
You
can reuse as you like. You can reuse, adjust, and publish elsewhere. Anyway, the report will be published in our website and in Zenodo. Okay. Anyway, for further question, we are available also in the next days. No problem.
Absolutely. If there are other questions, we are happy to answer. If not, no problem. You find all the information in the website, as Daniele said, so no problem. And okay, Nanda Vidal. Please, Nanda.
It's a very quick question. For instance, if we search for areas, so I'm from environmental psychology. So for instance, if I decide to focus on what are the contributions of psychology, is there a way to search specifically for psychology materials, or there is no way to do that? That is my question.
Please, Daniele.
Absolutely, yes. You can focus on this kind of works. You can search for the keywords, of course, in the data set. You can find, I think, some materials you can find useful. Yes, you can focus, absolutely.
Consider one point very important touched by Daniele, that the person that will be selected will be invited in, I don't know, some specific training webinar or meetings in which all this information will be shared and all the detail will be given to them. So you have time to ask everything and about the functioning of the atlas once you have received the information of the selection. This is important because, of course, we went in this webinar in some details, but not in all the details. And maybe it's useful to have another occasion, some other occasion. I don't know. I don't remember how many occasions, but surely a meeting, a training meeting on the criteria of.
Yes, after the selection, we will organize. A call to familiarize with the. Of course, we assume that applicants already have their own research path and interest, no, and they have an idea what they want to look for in the atlas. Yes.
Other question in the chat? I don't see. Okay. If you have some question, or otherwise we can close the meeting and wait just for 10 seconds. Okay. And then okay, so thank you very much for participating in this meeting. We wait for your applications in this call, and please go in the website and to search for all the information you may need. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. See you soon. Bye.